Hi there, peace and blessings to you. I hope that this video meets you well. I'm Latisha, a 42-year-old millennial mom of 5 children, an immigrant living in the US, an INFJ empath, light worker, intuitive, idealist, poet, writer. I consider myself a new earth messenger, a part of the feminine divine, and so many more wonderful things. And the name of this channel is Latisha Learns Life. And this channel is basically about me going on a journey of learning and discovery through observation, through reading, through learning, through navigating my experiences, navigating my thoughts, my emotions, and my intuition, and basically observing and absorbing and just taking in the world through my perspective, through who I am, my personality type, my experiences, my challenges, my difficulties, just experiencing life as the person that I am, the person that I have been becoming, the person that I have been shaping up to be for the last 42 years, and going through just a season of learning and discovery and a deeper understanding. I consider myself an enlightened person, and I feel as though I'm in my butterfly era. I feel as though I'm being transformed into a butterfly metaphorically. I feel as though I am no longer the person I was. I have grown and I have become close to the woman that I've always wanted to be. And I'm just loving my life right now, even though the world as we know it is crumbling and it seems as though everything is on fire and there's a lot of reason to be afraid. I am living in light, I'm living in love, I'm living in my truth, and I am anchoring the light and holding the vision for the future. And this video is what I call, this is another recording for a series that I will be doing for a Lord knows how long I'll be doing it, for goodness knows how long I'll be doing it, called Latisha Learns Tarot. And it is it's not tarot as you know it. It's not tarot in a way that you are accustomed watching people do tarot. It is not me reading the tarot cards and predicting things for you. It is basically me trying to learn a lot more about this tarot deck and learn a lot more about tarot in general. But this is the one deck I have, the Light Seer's tarot deck. And it is a collection by an artist named Chris Ann. And there's a website that I absolutely love, just a beautiful, gorgeous, well put together website called lightseerstarot.com. And there's a lot of useful information on this site. And it just is the kind of site that you can go on and learn more about the cards. You could just click on a section and then you can click on the card and there's information. There's a quote at the top. There's the card, the picture of the card, a quote on the top is always a lovely quote. There is a meaning section that tells you the upright meaning and the shadow seer in reverse meaning. There is an overview. There is a opportunity to compare this collection's version of the card and the version from an older deck, probably one of the oldest tarot decks, the Rider-Waite Tarot, the Rider-Waite deck, or the Rider-Waite collection. And then there is a message from that card, like a personal message, which is always really cool, and questions for the seer. And then another fun thing that you can do on this site is you could pick a card. You could pick a card and see what comes up. The Emperor. I picked the Emperor today. I lead by evolution with confidence, authority, and generosity. So it's a fun site. And it just provides opportunity for me to explore tarot using a deck that I absolutely adore, with artwork I adore, and just words, positive words, and words that are helpful and in the light as far as I'm concerned. Now this is this tarot. Let's go back to the home page. How do we find the home page? Oh, right there. Home. So this tarot, is a journey of shadows and sunshine, meaning that not all the cards are like the prettiest things, not all the cards are in the light per se. There are cards that are shadow cards, cards that talk about difficulty, because we as human beings are both shadow and light. We are both our light and dark. We are both our best self and our worst self. We are both our most joyous experiences and our most horrible seasons. We are all these things. We are not just all light, and we are not just all darkness. So there are shadow cards in this collection as well. And shadow cards are reflecting on the harder times, the challenging times in a person's season and in a person's life. So I pulled 2 cards today. So let me tell you how I do this tarot. How I pull tarot. I always pull 4. I always pull 2 cards most of the time. I always have 4 cards out. I always have 4 cards out, but I only pull 2 for the most part. There was one time that I pulled an extra card because I kind of pulled a card that I had already pulled, and I felt inclined, I felt called in that moment to pull an extra card. But for the most part, I just focus on 2 cards at a time, and I pull 2 cards in hopes that there would be new cards that I have not explored or looked into before, and also with the curiosity of whether or not these cards would align with my thought space, my head space, and my spiritual space, my vibration of the day. So I tend to pull these cards on days where my vibration is very clear and easy to read. So let me explain what my vibration today was all about. Today's a beautiful day. Today is a sunny day, and I love sunny days. Sunny days are, I feel like, I call myself, I consider my spirit flower sunflower, because I am just like a sunflower. I am at my best, and I'm at my height of energy and positivity and joy and good vibes on sunny days. It's like the sun just it powers me and strengthens me and gives me an extra boost. So I am a sunflower girl. I am attracted to the light. I love sunny days. Sunny days are my favorite days, even though I might not necessarily enjoy hot days or days where I feel warm. I do enjoy the sun. I do enjoy days where the sun is shining and it is bright and beautiful and just right. So today I'm recording on April 24th, 2025, and it is a beautiful sunny day. And I wanted to do this video like early this morning, but today was one of those days where I started with a plan and it didn't go according to the plan at all. I got up this morning, I had an early breakfast, I got an early shower. I came up here with the intention of doing some of my work, working on my ideas, working on some of the stuff that I felt called to work on today. And I ended up having a conversation with a friend because my friend called and I returned her call. And then after that, my mom texted, and I ended up talking to my mom on the phone. And I usually talk to my mom on the phone for at least over an hour and a half. And then after that, my mom and I decided we were going to do a recording to be posted at some point. It probably might be posted before this video, so you might have already seen it, or it's there. It will possibly be already posted to my YouTube. So we did that. Then I had lunch, and then here I am. I'm finally getting around. I did a lot of things before this, but I finally got around to doing this video. So let's get started. Today I pulled the Hierophant card. Trying to find a good angle for you. The Hierophant card. Where would be this? The lighting isn't so good. All right, so today I pulled the Hierophant card. I can't seem to get a clear shot of it right now. Probably the lighting is too bright coming through the window. I closed the curtain so that to help make it clear. Let's see. Let's pull it. Let's just move it down. I pulled the Hierophant card and the Nine of Cups card. So those two. And those are what we're going to learn about today. All right, so the Hierophant card is a part of the major Arcana set, I guess you would say. I don't know what you would say, but let's just say set. The major Arcana set or suit or whatever, however you word that. And I just looked up what the major Arcana in tarot represents. I looked it up to find out what Google had to say about it. So Google says, the major arcana in tarot represents significant life lessons and archetypal. Okay, I'm struggling with this word. Archetypal themes, guiding self-discovery and enlightenment. Each card, from the Fool to the World, holds unique symbolism and insights into various aspects of the human experience. They can be seen as a metaphor for the journey of life, offering guidance and wisdom. And then I also looked up the cups, even though I've looked that up before, but I'm just looking it up again to remind myself of what the cups are all about, because I pulled the Nine of Cups today. In tarot, the suit of cups is strongly associated with emotions, relationships, and intuition. They represent the full spectrum of human feelings, from joy and love to sadness and grief, and suggest making decisions based on your heart rather than logic. Cups are also linked to the subconscious mind and can indicate a focus on these areas of life or a heightened sense of sensitivity. Key themes, emotions. Cups represent the emotional landscape, both positive and negative. Relationships. They highlight the importance of connection, both romantic and platonic. Intuition. Cups encourage trusting your gut feelings and inner wisdom. The subconscious. They tap into the deeper, often hidden aspects of the self. Examples of cups in tarot is Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Cups, Page of Cups. I'm not going to read what they have there. And in reading, cups often suggest making decisions based on feelings rather than logic, a need to connect with your emotions and intuition, a focus on building and nurturing relationships, and a time of emotional growth and transformation. I honestly feel as though, once again, the cards that I've pulled are the appropriate cards for the moment that I was in, the mental space I was in, the vibration that I was on when I pulled the cards. Now, I am exploring these cards many hours after I initially pulled. But when I initially pulled this morning, I was in that space of just coming out of a discussion with my husband once again, talking about that big decision that we have to make. And if you are somebody who watches my videos, you would know what this big decision I'm referring to, because I mention it in the videos that I've done lately. So you may know what I'm talking about. But we were once again having that discussion, once again talking and discussing that decision. And, the whole idea and thought process behind what should I had this conversation both with my friend that I talked to first this morning and then my mom, where I said, I'm having to try to figure out what to trust, who to trust. Should I trust my heart or my head? So it's very interesting that what comes out is cards talking about trusting your heart, trusting your intuition, which is the strongest force in me anyway, and the force that I've always trusted most of all, because I understand that my mind can play tricks on me. I understand that my mind is more of a protector, the mind tries to protect you based on what it knows of the physical, based on what it sees, based on what it knows, and based on the limited knowledge that it has and the limited perspective, based on its lack of ability to predict the future, based on the fact that it doesn't have a higher perspective. It only has as the perspective of as far as you could see. So that is how your mind tries to make decisions, based on logic and based on what it knows and based on the limited knowledge and understanding it has, whereas your intuition and your spirit has a higher connection and a higher perspective. So I always prefer to trust my heart and my intuition, but when you have a spouse that would prefer to trust his head and is not connected to his intuition in the way that I am, and is a logistical thinker and planner, and he makes decisions based on logic, that leaves a space for confusion. It leaves a space for not really being able to fully navigate in a way that feels natural to you, to me as an intuitive, and having to kind of make that decision while taking his perspective and his way of making decisions into consideration. So it's a tricky navigation. So I find it very interesting that both cards are speaking along the lines of trusting your gut, trusting your heart, and trusting your intuition. Okay, so let's go and see what the Hierophant card is all about. So I took a peek before I started to record this video, but only as far as the quote. So because the quote gives you a good perspective of what the card is going to be all about. So the quote says, "I am my own guru and my highest guidance is rooted in faith." And I found it to be very, very interesting and very apt for the moment that I pulled the card and where my mind and my heart was at. The Hierophant. So, I am my own guru and my highest guidance is rooted in faith. The Hierophant key meanings. The Light Seer, which is the upright perspective. Powerful lessons, a spiritual leader or guide, time to have faith, enlightenment, awakening, a service of spirit, finding your own path, an awakened soul, transformation and transcendence, new paradigms. Again, just perfect. Just right, just perfect. Shadow Seer. Now, what does it mean when you say the Shadow Seer? It means that if you are not fully in the light, like I am, or fully in an awakened state, if you haven't faced your shadows and you are in a shadow period of your life and you are having to face your shadows, and you are using tarot as your source of understanding and trying to understand stuff, and you pull this card and you're not feeling in a light happy space, you're feeling in that kind of shadow energy, then this is what you would be focusing your energy on when this card comes up. All systems are structures that are no longer relevant, dogma, rebelling against societal norms, in need to let go of old ways of thinking, abuse of power, stagnation, ego-based leadership, in need to connect with spirit. And again, I just think that this card is just right for the moment, right for the day, right for the moment. The Hierophant card. The Hierophant in the Light Seer's deck has been renamed Keeper of the Sacred. Wow, love that. Hieros is a Greek word meaning sacred, and font, don't know how to pronounce it, has its roots in the Greek to show. Has its roots in the Greek to show. The old soul has always known that his primary path in life was to show others the sacred, and he sits at the base of your step-by-step spiritual journey, welcoming guests with open arms. As he warmly greets those who arrive, he reminds them of their divine makeup. You are made of God stuff, he whispers, fashioned with the same forces of creation that inspired the stars. As an awakened master, he is the personification of the gateway between divine source and the people he serves. Every star, every stair, every stair, every stair behind him is a lesson that is unique to the individual who walks the path. So basically, this is somebody like a guide awaiting you at the beginning, the bottom of the stairs, the beginning to your path of enlightenment. So you're walking up the stairs to your ascension and your enlightenment, your awakening. So that's awesome. For some reason, the picture doesn't come out clear when they put the original card there. So let me go back and look at that picture again. There he is. This is the stairs leading up to the path of enlightenment and awakening and ascension. So he's just waiting at the bottom of the stair to guide people and to welcome people, to remind people, dude, you are made of God stuff. I love that. You are fashioned with the same forces of creation that inspire the stars. I love that. Meaning you are so divine. You are so divine and you are so welcome. I love that. Love that. As a seeker, you hold the power to vibrate with a little more light as you ascend upwards, up towards the one, cosmic love that shines down and illuminates the path for all of us. He holds in his mind's eye the energies of all religions, and he recognizes that, organized or not, there is a deep wisdom at the heart of all spiritual teachings. I hope that you could just take in that for a minute, just take in that. All religions, organized or not, there is a deep wisdom at the heart of all spiritual teachings. So any religion that is saying our religion is the only path to the divine, our religion is the only path to connect to the divine, that is a lie. That is not the wisdom of the divine. That is not the wisdom of the higher power. That is untrue. All paths lead, all spiritual paths and religion, organized or not, lead to the divine, because if it connects you to love and it connects you to light and it connects you to truth, and not truth as in our way is the only truth, but the real truth, the awakening, the enlightenment, the thing that connects all of us and holds us together, if that's the path that your spirituality and religion is taking you on, if you are heading up those stairs with your life lessons and the things that you learn along the way, then doesn't matter the name of your religion, or if you're part of organized religion or a part of your own just spiritual walk, it's leading the same location. And one of the things that bugged me about old Christianity, the old mindset Christianity, is that people will consider me saying that as blasphemous. And I think that is so very wrong. It's the people who fail us, he winks. He lives a life of humility and service, but always in a way that demonstrates self-love. His t-shirt donned the prongs of the original Hierophant. Wow. Okay. His t-shirt dons the prongs of the original Hierophant's Trinity scepter, because he openly holds admiration for the gods. He openly holds admiration for the gods and the many wondrous faces of divinity that speckle our expanding universe. Wow, that is just amazing. Wow. So what does that mean? His t-shirt has this symbol of the scepter that the old Hierophant card, would hold in their hand. And again, when I'm comparing the two cards, it is always the same comparison. And I just feel as though this card represents like an old mindset and an old way of looking at these things, whereas this one seems more accurate and more adept for new age spirituality and a new age awakened loving understanding of connection to the divine. Here again, he looks like royalty. Here there's no pathway, there's no stairs behind him leading to enlightenment. And one of the things that you're going to notice is that here there's a path, meaning you got to take the steps. He just like, they're chilling, welcoming you with love and positive words, and like as a cheerleader, just telling you you are divine and you could do it. He's a cheerleader. You could do it. But guess who has to take the steps to the enlightenment? Guess who has to actually step up and go through each lesson one step at a time? You do. You do. Here, this is some dude in some robe with some heavy ass crown on his head, blocking the path. Like, just like, it's as though he has to move out of your way. It's like, I don't even know where the path is to enlightenment in this image. He is just sitting there on his throne carrying a physical scepter. Whereas once again in this collection, in this deck, you notice that the light, the tools, is unseen. It is in the spirit. It is in the words. It is in the energy. It is in the vibes. It is not in a physical embodiment of royalty or speciality or, being some big freaking deal. This guy is just vibes in. He's just on a cheerlead you on your way to your path to enlightenment. This guy here is like, bow to me first and I may possibly move out of your way. I don't even know. So this old mindset, new age, new mindset. And this is what I love. This is what would have turned me off and be like, heck no, this is not for me. Message from the Hierophant. As you search for your divine truth, you create frameworks of understanding that help you to expand your consciousness and that ground your faith into your reality. Your own spiritual beliefs should support you at this time. And if they don't, you are being asked to activate a deepening of your faith in order to find the guidance that you seek. When the Hierophant shows up in a reading, he is asking you to grow and to hold more light within your being than you ever have in the past. If you're being stuck in an old system or structured way of acting or being, it is to let that fall away in order to make space for a better version of you. Be open to new paradigms, perspectives, mentors, or teachers coming into your life at this time. The Hierophant serves as a living portal, and he may show up in a variety of lessons or circumstances. Look to the repeating patterns around you and strive to understand your own internal compass. Know that while there is wisdom and veracity in the teaching of the mystics, the voice of your own heart is the one voice that really matters the most. It's time to find wisdom. It's time to find the wisdom of the heavens within. And this is what my mom and I was discussing today as we made our recording. We were discussing that the old spirituality was external. The old spirituality, the old organized religion was about the pastor. It was about the building. It was about external service and, what you could do for the church, and it was how much money you could raise, and it was all about external stuff and physical stuff. But the new form of spirituality is connecting to the divine that is within us, activating the divine within us, which is in the form of our heart chakra, our soul, our spirit, our inner self, however you want to word it. But our connection to the divine is within us, and it is trusting our own spiritual guide, trusting our own spiritual connection. And in this card, it says, even though it's nice to have teachers, have people teaching you things, you still have to trust your own inner guide and your own inner communication with the divine that is within you. And that is the whole thing, is that, once again, I said, the guy in this card is not going to do the work for you or tell you how to do it. He is just going to cheer you on, off your little advice, cheer you on as you take the journey to your own journey, your own quest to enlightenment. Questions for the seer. Are you listening to the wisdom of your heart or placing others' messages above your own? Is there an old way of doing or being that you are holding on to? What would happen if you go to an outmoded way of life? What would happen if you let go of an outmoded way of life? What belief is getting in the way of your dreams? So those are questions to take into consideration, to journal, to think about. The next card that I pulled today, which I think is very apt and also in line with the same message. So I have to say, I do believe that, pulled the wrong thing. I have to say that I do believe that there's a divinity in these cards, because I always pull the right cards for the right time. I haven't missed one time. I haven't gotten it wrong once. The Nine of Cups. I open my grateful heart to get the gifts that are coming my way. I open my grateful heart to get the gifts that are coming my way. Nine of Cups key meanings. The Light Seer, upright. Gifts from the universe, choosing joy, manifested dreams, gratitude, abundance, stepping into alignment with purpose, using all your gifts. Shadow Seer reverse, delayed gratification, unfulfilled desires, smugness, unmanifested dreams, greed blocking your path, not appreciating the simple things in life, a need to find the rocket fuel of positivity and optimism. Nine of Cups overview. Floating in her visionary dream state, she sees 9 cups in front of her, carrying all the things she has been working towards. Bliss, transcendence. Her heart explodes with love, and its energy spills into 9 beautiful vessels. All the gifts, all the love. She used to believe that these cups were put there by the universe. And that she would have to choose between them. She used to believe that she could only have one of these things. But now she sees that they were all created for her. For her, they were all created by her, for her. She sees her love in all of them. Her heartbeats act out in their patterning. Her own joy carved amongst their jewels. Her essence seeded these gifts, and it is her own nature that allows them to flourish or not. She realizes that her choice today is more about priorities, focus, and clear intention than about choosing one thing over another. She realizes that the world really is her oyster, and that she is being gifted the opportunity to choose which gifts she wants first. So one of the interesting things that really stood out about that is that the gifts that she is about to receive, the abundance she's about to receive, was created by her, for her. And that's the message in that, is that the gifts that you're going to receive in your life, it's the gifts that you have created and you allow yourself to receive. And I feel like I finally get that. I feel like I'm living in my butterfly season, as I say, my butterfly era. I am allowing myself to receive the gifts, and I would have to say I would be one of those people that was taught that it had to be this or that, and you had to choose. But now I am of the mindset that I can have all the nice things. I can have all the beautiful gifts that I have created. I can enjoy all the gifts that I have created for myself. And, with gratitude and thankfulness. And, I'm not going to say much about the comparison of the cards. I mean, they speak for themselves, the differences, right? One of the things I'm going to just talk about right now is just look at look at what's going on there. Like that jump she's just jumping into the air and her flowing back and taking it in and letting all that light absorb that abundance, just letting it fall on her. And there's this little treasure box at the bottom. So there's just treasures everywhere. There's abundance everywhere. There's abundance and gifts everywhere. And they all were created by her for her. So we just got to receive those gifts, receive the gifts that we deserve, receive what we've created, create what we want for ourselves, be our own creators, and create the life and the abundance that we want for ourselves. And I'm in a season where it's like no more lack, no more limitations, just abundance and receiving. I'm in a season of receiving and understanding that I deserve the abundance that comes my way. The message from the Nine of Cups. Yes, those dreams you've been dreaming, those feelings you've been chasing, they are headed your way, and you will be able to unpack the gift that you really want as a result. The appearance of this card is in your spread is an auspicious message of prosperity, abundance, and getting what you desire. It is often fittingly called the wish card. What have you been wishing for? Do a happy dance because the universe is sending you some gifts your way. Allow yourself to receive them and experience how fulfilling this journey can be. Consciously immerse your life with all the laughter and bliss needed to launch you into the next phase of your happiness. Take stock of all the feelings that are surfacing and remember to practice gratitude for the manifestation of your dreams. In shadow, this card can suggest dissatisfaction or frustration with unmanifested dreams. Sometimes this may stem from having too much focus on material gain and missing an opportunity to connect from your heart. Sometimes this focus can manifest as smugness, especially when emotional needs are not being met. True joy stems from connecting with others, bolster and nurture relationships, and find your Nine of Cups joy. Find your Nine of Cups joy by giving others your love. Even in shadow, this joyful card suggests that good things are on the way. Open your heart to receive them. Questions for the seer. If a magic lamp came into your life to grant you one wish, what would you ask for? Start keeping track of the proof that your dream is coming to you. Have you seen any signs in the last week? Daily gratitude gets us to this Nine of Cups place. How is your relationship with gratitude? If it's been there, done that, or if you're just not feeling it, what's getting in the way of your thankfulness? If you've been knocking on the door of gratitude and the door's not opening, are you saying, I am grateful, but? So that's a good question. And just for the fun of it, because I think this is just going to be a little additional piece that I add to these videos, just for the fun of it, let's pick a card and see what comes up, and then we're going to just read the quote at the top. So what came up? I actually picked a card like twice already, and two of them were Light Seer cards, and this is my third time picking on the digital front. This is my third time picking, and what came up was the Eight of Swords. And let's just look at the image. The Eight of Swords is kind of like a little bit of a creepy image, and it says, I am free to choose my healing and my light. So you see, this deck, even with the shadow side, is still all about light. I am free to choose my healing and my light. And I'm assuming, based on looking at this image, that this is about facing your shadows. This is her looking into, it looks like either a mirror or water, but something reflective, and seeing her shadows, facing her shadows. That's what I'm getting from this card. But this is not a card that I've pulled as yet, so I do not have the... So this is not going to be a video where I explore this card more. But I just was curious to see what would come up if I had picked a card from this really, really cool feature, you know, where you get to pick a card, a digital card, a digital card from the Light Seer's Tarot. So I really hope that you enjoy this video today. I hope that you learn something new, and that you don't, you don't fear tarot in the way that it was made out to be a tool of evil and scary, and it was scary and it was evil, and all tarot is evil, and everybody that reads tarot cards are evil, because I would say that I don't agree with that thought process. I don't get that vibe at all, and I feel like that's just an old way of thinking, a fear-based way of thinking, and that's an old mindset way of looking at things. And I feel as though that, not I feel as though, I know that tools are only an extension of us, and energy is, when we put energy towards things, it is our energy that we're putting towards it. It's our energy that we're attaching to it. And if we have something come our way, energy that comes towards us from a different direction, and it's not good energy, it's coming from somebody else, you have the power to push it back. You have the power to, protect yourself with your bubble of protection. Protect your energy from bad energy coming your way. And anything that is used for evil, anything that is used for wicked, it can be transmuted if you want to do that. Or you could either protect yourself from it, transmute it, believe in your ability to transmute darkness into light, believe that darkness is more powerful than light, or like I said, you protect yourself from it, you push it back, or you try to transmute it if that's something that you feel called to do. But I don't think that tools have more power than us. I think that we have more power than we think. And our energy could be used, our power and our energy could be used for light or darkness. And it's up to us to choose. That is my thoughts on it. So thank you for watching this video today. And like I said, I hope you learned something new. I hope that you would take a moment, if you haven't already, to subscribe to my channel. It's only going to get better from here. It's a work in progress. It's something that I'm building, and I'm building it like a turtle, a social media turtle, taking my time with it. And it's only going to get better from here. The ideas are just flowing, and you would be amazed at what I'm capable of if given the opportunity. I think that you would enjoy my channel if my vibes feel right to you. So subscribe, please. Comment, that would help. Like this video and share, and just help me in whatever way you can, if you are willing. Whatever way you can, help me out with the algorithm stuff. So thank you for watching. Peace and blessings, and until next time.